I'm going to play a little bit with Gimp and some of the filters. Um, GMAC filters, I think they call them. We'll use this picture down here. This is kind of a fun one. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to try something. We're going to take a new one and I'll make it 1280. And that way I can use these filters and label them at the end of the video and show the images. Okay, there's a background. Now we'll take this right here. And in the filters you see this JMaker up here. There's several different filters in here. And we're going to experiment with them a little bit. First, I had to make a copy of that. Always make copies. And let's see with contours. We'll take a look at contours. I like this fine line, what it does sometimes. The super thin lines. It tries to separate the colors out. Now that's not a real distinct picture, so I'm not sure what it's gonna. This is what it will look like when it's divided out. Just back down the threshold and see what it does. I don't really like how that's looking. I know what I want to do. We'll take this and break this down from an RGB to an indexed colors. So let's copy this. Select all, copy, and we'll paste it as a new image. The reason being, once you change the indexing, it affects every layer. So if you take and you copy that and you paste it, then you can change the indexing. Indexing means you change the amount of colors used in your image. Let's change this to see what it comes up with on its own. If we use let's use 12 colors. No, let's use 16 colors. See what it does. There's a 16 color image. It took that RGB and turned it into 16 colors. Now we can take it. Now it's already converted. We can take that image and put it back into RGB. That lets us use the filters on it. Once if it's indexed, we can't do anything more with it. So turn it back to a RGB. Now let's duplicate that. We'll go up to our filters and we'll go to the GMAC filters and now see what it does to separate them out. Let's see if I can see. I'm trying to get to break into pieces on the lines as much as possible. I just do this, then you'll see what I'm adjusting. It's taking that image and it's going to outline the different colors in it. It's such a small image, it's kind of strange it's taking so long to do this. So there's the lines. Now what we can do to this is say, okay, colors, I want to turn the white transparent. There's the white transparent. And if you notice, it blocks the colors a little bit into groups. If you fool with the settings, you'll get different things that happen. Fatten those lines up a little bit, so I suggest I'll pick everything that's not black, then reverse it, invert, then make the line 1 pixel bigger. Select grow by 1 pixel. Then we'll paint that 1 pixel black. And notice it says, the little thing that says you can't paint there, you can't paint there. It's because it's not selected. But if you slowly move it down over the areas you can paint, there you see you can paint it. If you select none, the lines are a little bit bigger. You know what I should have done? Undo, select none. Is do that on a new layer. If I do it on a new layer, then it paints all of them. Notice the difference. Now all the lines are painted. Select none. Now if I put the picture there, there it is divided into pieces. Oh, I made it wrong. I want transparent. I want to make my lines a little less obvious in there. Now once you divide these into pieces, you could actually take that layer if you want to, edit, copy and paste it over the other picture. Paste in place, and that will select turn them into a new layer, and that would divide your regular picture into pieces. Now by adjusting that line, I could have done a lot more. You could make it follow the lines, follow the different colors very closely. What would follow right in here, and let's fool with it a little bit and see if I can get it a little bit better. Sometimes it's better to do it than to try to explain it. That breaks it into little tiny pieces. That's a little bit too much. And this I can do size. Let's see if I have to play with size. I'm playing with these filters. It's just there, that's working a little bit better. Okay. Now I think I can take that and remove the colors from it. And select just the black. See if I select all the black. This selects one area. I'll give an example here. This will select the area between the black lines. It selected nothing else, just the area between the black lines. If I do this one here, it selects only one at a time. There you see I selected one, I selected one, I selected one block. It's the difference of what these, there's select one, oh, it's selecting the one color. I chose this here to select that color. So it select that color anywhere that's on that drawing. If I want to select another color, it will only select one color at a time, but it will select all of them. If you do this, it will select multiple areas. There's one color, now I can select this color also. I can also do that one there. This one removes one. Say, well, I don't want, I shouldn't have selected this color. So there, that color is unselected now. And now we'll select none. Now I think what I could do to separate these out, we'll make a copy again of this and try something. I think I can do this. I can select all of this color. I select all of this color. Grow the selection by 1. Selection, grow by 1. And I think it will not select the line in between now. There will only be an outside edge to it. There, only an outside edge. So if I do another layer, I can go back here, get a color sample. Eyedropper color sample. There's the color sample. Go to the next layer and paint it. Now we'll select none. Now I'll take this one up on top. We'll do another layer. We will select this layer. On the layer on top, we paint it black. Shrink it by 1. We'll shrink it by, just shrink it by 1. And then delete it. And now if we look at it alone, we see what we did. You actually have the color with a black outline on it. Oh, let's do another one. Let's pick all of this color here. We'll select and we'll grow it by 1. We'll paint it here. Select the color. There's the color. We'll paint it there. On the top layer, we'll paint it black. We'll shrink it by 1. And delete the inside. Now we'll go back down here and let's select another. Let's select this. Let's select this area. We'll do the same thing. Grow by 1. Select the color. Paint it. We'll go up here. Paint it black. shrink by 1, and delete it. Now we could do the whole drawing like that. And what it does is it will take and break it into sections of color. Select. Now let's do one more just for the fun of it. We'll go down there and do this. This is a demo. It's just to kind of show what can be done with. Different effects are kind of neat. That's what I really enjoy with the graphics. And not only that, you can there's just so many things that can be done. Let me go up here and I'll select this here. I'll select this area. Do the same thing. Go up by 1. Get the color and paint it. Go to our black layer and we'll paint it black. Shrink it by 1 and delete it. Now from here, you could take that whole thing, and if you want to, let's black the layers off so you see exactly what you have. This is nothing but the black outline, and down here is nothing but the color. You could play with either one of them and overlay it on top of this and wind up with a total different animal. Again, it's the idea of playing with effects. You might have an idea and you say, I just wonder what that's going to look like. If you want just the outline, you can say, okay, edit copy, let's copy. We'll go back to this original picture and paste it on top. Paste that as a new layer. And you notice it followed the lines a little more distinctly to break it into pieces. Or you could go back to the other drawing here and say, well, let me copy this, just the colors. I just want to put those colors on and see what that looks like. So we'll copy and we'll paste it on top. Turn it into a layer. If you want the outlines on it, of course, you can put the outlines just slide up on top. Just to show a couple things could be done using this filter. We'll use another filter. We'll play with something else down here. Move all this stuff down. Let's play with another filter. There's so many filters. Segmenting breaks it into pieces. Segmentation is actually that's a segmentation is used by OpenCV, and it's actually part of identifying different areas of a picture, trying to find regions of interest in a picture. Edge threshold. Let's see when we change that, what happens if they get bigger. And the smoothness. That's what the example does. And let's tell it okay. We'll take a look at that picture. Again, totally changed the image. I think you can do a, yes, I'm almost positive this has a cartoon style in it too. Let me duplicate that layer. Go back with my filter in. There's a lot of different filters to fool with here. You look over here on the left and you see what the result's going to look like. They just made little squares and made them random. Seamless, when you turn an image seamless, you can actually use it like a background on an image, because this edge matches up with this edge down here. That edge matches up with that edge. There's so many different filters. Maybe there's just loads of filters to fool with here. With Gimp, one of the neat things about Gimp is just don't be afraid to experiment. There's a random rotation, there's a random tone. And see the white, I mean the clear, that's clear. So if you use that filter, you would have to put a background color in, or you put a background color in, and would fill in those blanks. Let's use that just for fun, see what happens with it. Okay, here it is. And if we put a bottom layer underneath it, and you see the areas I said were transparent, you could see through them. So when you put a color underneath that, it made the transparent black. It would blend into a black. Let's merge that down. We'll merge it down. We'll slide that image down. Slide down. Let's go back to these filters. What else we got up here? Tile rotation. Artistic. Anguish. What's an anguish? Makes them things all look so dark. Everybody looks mean in there. Oh my God. They're mean but blurred. Crayon. That's a pretty crummy crayon engine, I'll tell you. It doesn't look like an image to me. Blockism. Turn into it's all some sort of a block. Oh, look at that. It's kind of cute. Let's look at it. Okay, let's see if we fool with the colors a little bit. Let's go with the brightness and contrast. Oh, I kind of like curves. You can adjust them here, but I like to use the curves. We're going to cancel that, go to colors, and use curves in here. And what this does is make your dark darker and your light lighter. Maybe these are just fun to play with and see what you wind up with in here. And of course you could take you put images on, filters on filters. So I could take that one right there. Let me slide this clear down the bottom. I'm going to slide these down. I'm going to take these and put them on this background, And when I make a movie, I'll be able to show the images separately. Now we could take that one and go back. I saw a filter up here. I don't know what it is. What's this? Goat experience. Oh my God, I have no idea. A goat experience? Huh. Well, now we know what a goat experience is. Let me make 2 of them and separate the colors on goat experience. Filters, let's do one of these lines, divide it. I always like this thin line. Sometimes the thin line comes out really, really well. For outlines. This is the one you saw before. The thin edges. Okay. Tell it okay. I didn't even fool with my settings. You want to fool with your settings, but I didn't want to do that here. This video turned into another 3-hour video. Once I get playing, I really enjoy playing. Filters can do so much with the images. Oh my God, it's just unbelievable. So let's take that colors and we will color to alpha. We will turn our white to alpha. And let's fatten those lines up a little bit. So we choose everything that's not black. Then we reverse it, invert. Then we'll take that selection and we will grow it by 1 and paint it black. Now let's select none. We see that black line. Oh, I did it again. Undo, select none. Undo bucket fill. We want to make a separate layer. When you do a separate layer, it will paint everything instead of just that area you click. Let me show exactly what I'm talking about. If I paint the layer, select none. If I paint this layer, it will only paint one section. If I paint in the blank layer after selecting, it paints everything. And I'll show it again here. We will select and then reverse it, invert, and we'll take our selection. Oh, we don't want to shrink it. Take this selection, grow it by 1. Now, if I paint this layer up here, everything is painted. If I paint it on the layer below, if I do this and say, okay, let's select everything, invert it, grow it by 1, and I choose to paint this layer, it will not paint everything. It'll paint a selection. Now select none. See, it did not paint all of them, just the area that was selected. So when you want to paint everything, be sure you give yourself a blank area to go on to. Okay, let's put this back. Oh, that divided into pieces. Now let's take this and give it a bit of a blur. We'll make 2 layers. Again, duplicate. Always have yourself your copy. And give a Gaussian blur to it. Now if you notice that one layer, Boy, that did Gaussian blur it. Look at that, so indistinct. I guess my blur was a little bit more than I want it to be. But you can duplicate a layer and it gets darker. Now there's the layer with the lines, and we can lighten them up. And even though you've got your blur on the edges, but that's such an indistinct thing, I can't get over that. I think I blurred it too much is what it was. Took a lot to get that. Okay. When you have to do something a lot, it turns into a pain. Okay, look here. I know what to do. I'm going to take this one, make a new layer. A new layer from the visible. Now I'm going to get rid of all the ones underneath it. So I just took all those layers and combined them into one. I don't even know if I like the look. I just got fooled, but I want to see what it does. If we merge this down, then add a little bit of transparency to it. Huh. Well, this definitely turned out like I want it to be. Not my drawing, my video, where you just come in here and play. So what if I erase some of this? What if I take and erase some of that blue and show the actual eyeball underneath over here? So what if I do this? I'll make my opacity down so it's a slow thing I do. Increase the size of my brush. And will this come out pretty bad? Oh well, okay. And merge this thing down. And merge that thing down. That come out pretty crummy. On a score of 1 to 10, I give myself about not even a half on that one. Okay, let's play with another filter. Something looked really rough. What if I take my filter to see if I can knock out some of that blur? I picked a blurry person on. Oh, what's this? Okay, let's enhance it. Let's knock out some of that blur. There's so many filters to try there. It's sharpened up a little bit. Oh, it's these other filters. There's a Gaussian, a median, a circular motion blur. What's that? Okay, it blurred it, but it makes it look like the center of a circle. And I think you can move where your center is. I don't know. I don't like it anyway. Okay. Go to another blur and a linear motion. Pixelize. I don't like the pixelize. I don't like pixel. A tolerable blur. What's a tolerable blur? Okay, let's look at it. Oh, once in a while you do one of these filters and it messes up everything you've done. Well, that doesn't look very good. Undo tolerable blur. I don't even see it. God, I cannot see the difference. There is one, but what a small difference. Okay. We get rid of Tolerable Blur. It didn't do enough to be worth it. Oh, here's a neat thing. Here's a neat thing. We do an artistic and apply a canvas to it. It makes the whole thing look like it was on a canvas. Increase the size of that image a little bit. It adds that canvas look behind it. We'll keep that one. Make a couple more copies to play with. What else can we do? Here's our artistic cartoon. The mask radius, that doesn't look very cartoony. Percent black. Supposed to be cartoon. That doesn't look very cartoon-like to me. But this is one where you can go back to another filter. For instance, you'll get rid of these with one of these black filters. There or there. That might be a neat one right there. And we will take and select by region here. We'll select by region. And up here, if we do that, we can delete, and since we have an exact same drawing underneath it, we can delete this layer where it's got all those marks and see what's happened. A totally different appearance. I look like I've got polka dots now. Okay, let's take that one, merge it down, and get rid of it. We'll put it way down at the bottom where we don't have to see it, don't have to look at it. And choose this image up on top and run another filter. Okay, filters. Here's the blur, circular motion, blur, enhance, delays, high pass. High pass is to really try to sharpen a good picture up more. Distort, apply lens. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can do this. Filters, apply lens. That one specific spot, it will try to make a lens in. And that's actually kind of neat when you want to make something like a globe look. We'll do that. We'll do that. That's what we'll do. Okay. I'm going to use that. Then I'm going to make a new layer. Then on this new layer, I'm going to change my opacity, my size, paint black, and we'll do kind of like a black shadow on the bottom. Then on top we'll do a white shadow. Then I think what I need to do is with my low, I mean I've done this so long ago I don't remember. Geez, I think what I want to do is overlay it. And if we get rid of everything, we see this looks like a ball up on top. more and more it looks like a water drop looking thing. So I want to paint that black. See, I'm underneath it now. I'm underneath it now, and I want to paint that whole circle black. Can't paint it unless I choose it. We'll select and shrink by 2. Delete the middle. Select none. Now we've got our water drop. With a black border around it. And we can take that black border and light that up in there. So I take that and I merge it down. It didn't come out too good, actually. Oh, well. Even when I give it the power of 2, it didn't. It's a good water drop till you put it on something. And then it's no good. Oh my God. On a solid background, it makes a good drop. Maybe I distorted that way too much too. Okay, let's try something else. Let me move this one up 1. We'll go back and re-choose that area, and then we'll distort it a little bit, but not quite so much. This isn't what I really want for the look of the ball. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I've had the balls on there that looked better. Well, let's give that a mode of a dodge. No, dodge isn't it. Overlay's the one I used before, I'm quite sure. But it doesn't have a globe look. Okay, let's select all around it. I'll select none. Let's see if I can do it like this. Okay, select invert. And we're going to try to make, now since it's transparent, we've got to do something kind of a weird here. I want to make a new layer. I'm going to paint it black. I'm going to make 2 of them. I'm not going to make 2 yet. I'm going to slide it off to one side. Like a bit of a shadow. Layer to image. Duplicate it. Take the bottom one and blur it. I think I went too crazy with my Gaussian blur before. Now if I go up here and select the image, it will leave only the blur if I go to my blurred image. And delete it. That was wrong. I want to delete around that image. So we'll select it again. Select invert. Go to here. Now delete it, and it shows only the shadow area. Select none, and then take that shadow and make it less distinct. I still can't get over how bad that bubble looks though. I want to make a new one from everything visible and get rid of that stuff. It just doesn't look right. I want it to look like a glass bubble on top. It looks like a glass bubble so long as it's not on an image. As soon as it's on an image, it goes away. Okay, maybe add another layer. I just want to. I've got to experiment now. Oh, that's why you're at the toy box. I can play. I keep thinking, this isn't perfect. People aren't going to like this video. Hey, this is life. I play and I experiment with stuff. There I go. I kind of like that. I've always liked that shade of blue. Now, will it look like a bubble if I painted a solid color underneath it? Not too bad. Not too bad. It doesn't like the image though. But it has a globe-like appearance there. And I can slide that around if I want to, actually. I can put it anywhere I want to. As a matter of fact, see, I can put it to... oh, you know what? That'd be a fun one to make a... That would be fun to make a... stamp from that. A brush. Move it to the middle. I want to make a brush. And you'd always want it to be black because if it bubbles any other color, it doesn't quite look right. Let's adjust it to the image size and select invert. Copy. Paste as a new image. To make a brush, you want to turn your image always into a grayscale. And paste as a new brush. Call this bubble. Not bibble, bubble. Okay, now let's see if this works. We'll get a brand. Oh, there's a nice background. We'll try that. Okay, paint it. And try my new brush. Bubble. Not bad. Not bad. So now I have myself a paintbrush bubble. And I think if I go to a blank layer, but I don't know this. If I put a blank layer and I put a bubble there, if I duplicate the blank layer, yeah, look at that, it makes them even more distinct. Okay, I learned something, you learned something, we all learned something. So now I have a bubble brush, And I believe because I did it grayscale that if I wanted I could actually do a, oh no, because I've got a color pick there. What if I picked a red? Would it do a red bubble? No. Interesting. Okay, we'll go back here. But the bubble doesn't work on them too well. Where's my original image? Oh my god, do I not have an original image left? Oh, there's one. Okay. But my bubble doesn't work. Oh, wait a minute. That looks a little better now. Okay, now I turn it into a brush. It looks better. I can put, now the bubble brush is okay. Select undo paintbrush, undo paintbrush, undo paintbrush. I should have done it on another layer. Undo paintbrush and undo paintbrush. We put a blank layer in here. Look how much better that bubble looks. Oh, and my opacity is down too. That's why it's not a bright bubble. There. Look at that. Oh my god, now I get playing with bubbles. And of course you can duplicate that, which would make it get down out even more. Okay, so if we take and merge that down, merge it down, and merge it down, now we can take all those bubbles. Oh, watch this. This is going to look nice. We'll take all those bubbles, and they have a built-in shadow. There's the built-in shadow. But we can do a bigger shadow and raise those bubbles up in the air a little bit, I think. Okay, select none. You see what's happening? When I click select transparent, it's also selecting the center of that bubble. I don't want to center the bubble. If I use this, these are contiguous areas, and oh, it still does the center of some of the bubbles, not all of them, some of them. What if I duplicate it and merge it down? Will it still? Oh, okay, there you go. Now it's doing just the bubble part. Now if I go down here, we'll make another layer, okay, and I will paint them black. Select, invert, paint all the bubbles black. Now I'll make another layer. Select none. If I can't move them if they're selected. And offset them. And blur them. Then take the original bubbles, invert, and we delete that from here, and we turn that layer off. And see, when I delete, I'll back up so you see what that delete did. Undo item visibility, undo clear. There's this layer. It was selected by using this layer. And if I take this layer and I delete the selection, it leaves only the shadow. Then I can take the shadow and make it a little bit lighter. Okay, that came out pretty good. It has the shadow I had from before though. How can I do this? How can I do this? There's always a way to clean stuff up like this. if I do this, and I duplicate it, and I slide this up a little bit, see what I'm wanting to do? That little edge in there at the bottom, I want to get that edge out. So I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how to make myself an eraser. That's what I want to do, is make myself an eraser. There, the part gone is what I want to keep. So if I go to this down here, I go to that layer. Okay. So now I go up here and I select those. Select invert. Now I can go down to this layer and delete. Okay, select none. Now, oh, I should have moved it a little more. I still have some of that edge in there. I think you see what I'm doing now. I'm taking this right here. Maybe you don't. Maybe you haven't got a clue. You say, what the hell is this guy doing now? I want to select all these little half moons. Select. We'll grow it by 1 and turn them into erasers to put up here. And on this area, on that area, I want to erase that little edge. See? It now disappeared. Select none. See the little edge that was in here? That's what I did. I made that into an eraser. That's the eraser. I expanded it by 1. Then up here, I removed that little edge. We'll put it back. Undo clear. And we'll take this and actually make a copy of it so you can see exactly what was done. This is what I had made to make an eraser. I went up here and I hit delete and I erased it. Now we'll select none. So there it is erased. There it is fastened. And now I could duplicate that and have it twice. Okay, did anybody learn anything from this? I hope you did. They say, what the hell is he doing? Why did he do that? I hope you all see exactly what I did. I didn't like that dark edge on there. So what I did, I went up here and I erased that dark edge. Now I can put shadows back in. Where's my shadows at? I don't remember where I put my shadows. That's why you should label stuff. That's why you should label. Actually, look at that layer. That would make a nice shadow. If I took that and put a Gaussian blur to it. It makes them look like bumps on there now. Okay, hey, we played about enough. Holy mackerel, this is a long movie. I'm wondering if I can stream it playing. That's what I'm trying to find out about. If any people out there know about streaming, I'm thinking it might be kind of fun just to stream and play. And everybody can chat back and forth while I'm doing weird stuff, you know. You could pick areas here now. See, because it's such a limited palette, you can pick areas and do what you want to that area. You can go, oh, here. Well, I know what we can do. We can do some fancy brushes. Let's take and choose an area by color. We'll choose all of this. We'll make another layer. Now we're going to go over here and make ourselves a brush. Unless I can turn that into little tiny drops. Could I do that? Wow, I don't know. If I take that and turn it into a little tiny drop. Boy, this takes a lot of fooling around what I want to do here. But it's doable. I wonder if I can make a paintbrush full of drops, and I can. If I take and merge that down and merge that down. And duplicate it, then my brushes will come much quicker. We'll duplicate it. I spent hours drawing and horsing around. Hours. There's so much new to learn all the time. This is only one thing. This is only one thing. I mean, what I really like doing is playing with AI and stuff. But this is I think this is more entertaining to more people right now. Okay, so let's merge that down. And merge that down. And we'll make that to the image size. And now make another one. Now we'll take that one and move it over. This is going to be a big, big paintbrush, what it's going to be. A dot paintbrush. Merge down, and we'll duplicate it. It goes pretty fast when you start make duplicates of duplicates. Merge it down. A couple more steps and I'll have it here. As a matter of fact, just one more and it'll be enough to make a brush like I want. Merge down. And we'll duplicate that. And I'll be able to make myself a dot paintbrush. And merge it down. We'll make that to the image size. Then we'll select only an area whole dots. Copy. Paste as a new image. We'll make sure that image is in grayscale. It is. Okay, so we can take that, go select all, copy, and we'll paste it as a new brush. Bubble dots, bubble D, bubble dots. So now we have a bubble D paintbrush. Go back to this thing right here, where I selected this, and we'll use our new paintbrush on it. Bubble D paintbrush. Let's try to make them smaller dots. To increase and decrease the size of your brush, you want to hit your open brackets and close brackets, and that will change the size of that brush. And isn't that a weird effect? Let me take that last one and see if I can. The alignment's not too easy here. Let me zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. My brush came out a bit flawed. It's got that line in it. Okay, now I know what I can do. I'll undo it, make another layer. And I'll do it on the other layer, then I can erase that top piece. Okay, so now I can actually go to this very top section right here and erase that. Now merge it down. And let's back off on our drawing. There. Dots. Oh my god. It's full of dots. I didn't get that bottom part either, but you can see what I'm talking about. Most of the time it's to say, hey, now I understand what this guy is doing. I don't know what I did with my brush. Has that top area, that's what it is. I see what happened. I've got the shadow on here from the other. Okay, so let's select none, and I'll go back and clean my dots up a little bit. It's got that black shadow on top. That's why my brush come out messed up. It's gone now. I don't think, that's not going to look right either. Brushes are worth a lot of work because you use them over and over and over. So if you've got to take time to make yourself a good brush, I always figure that's this kind of life because that brush will get used so much. I see that black up on top. That's what's caused me a problem. And then that straight line. I'm trying to think in my head what to do right now, whether it's to make it look right, make my brush come out good. The brushes are really, really important that you can get a good brush when possible. Maybe if I fuzz that selection of hair, we'll select and we'll feather the edge just a little bit. We'll feather that by a pixel. Okay, now edit and copy. Now edit and paste as a new layer. And slide that layer to the top line. You see what I don't like is that black. And it looks like I'm still going to have it. Select none. Make that into a new layer. That looks better. That looks better. There's still going to be some black up on top. That's life. Okay, let me see if I can erase that. A tiny, tiny paintbrush. Oh my God, another 1 pixeler. Zoom. Well, maybe I can choose it like this. Okay, select none if I go. Select none. Yeah, that'll do it. Well, you guys gonna get bored to death. Oh my God. I'll be the first channel to have people die on it. Bored to death. I'll go down to YouTube history. This guy did videos that people got bored to death on. Oh my God, that'd be a sad thing. That would not be good for a channel. Watch this movie. The last 20 people watched it, got bored to death. They're bored to death, but they knew how to make a good paintbrush. Okay, select none. Got it. Got it. That one there we can live with. That's livable. That's a livable paintbrush. Zoom up again to be sure. It's still a little dark up in there. See if I can do this. Cut. Edit. Paste in place. To a new layer. And we'll add some opacity to it. There you go. Now here we go. Oh my God, I got it. Layer to image size. And we'll change that opacity. And we're there. We got exactly what we want right now. Notice I said we. I hope you guys got what you wanted to. Good. That's good. Okay, just got it perfect. Select done. Perfect, perfect. Exactly what I want. Exactly. Oh my God, it took a lot of fooling around. But where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, good. That's a good paintbrush. Select all. Edit copy. Paste as a new brush. Bubble DA. Bubble DA. Okay. What was I at here? All this, I got to go back to my drawing and see if and add that little tiny bit left. Oh my God. All that for that tiny little. Oh no, that's even a different color. I didn't have to do it for that. That's not that light color. Let's put some bubbles over here. After making it, after going so much work to do bubbles, I want to do my bubbles now. We'll do all of that color, and we'll put some more bubbles on it. Bubble DA, okay. We'll do a new layer. I don't understand what my paintbrush. I don't even want to think about what happened there. Okay, select all. Copy. Paste as a new brush. Double DA. Okay, now if I go back here, how come my brush don't look like I want it to? And I get one layer. The insanities. Okay, we're gonna new from visible. That's all of them. Select all. Edit copy. Paste as a new brush. Maybe it wants a whole different name. Maybe it doesn't want to overwrite. Let's go back over here. Okay. Well, that's right. I did so it can paint any color it wants to now. If I want blue bubbles, I can do blue bubbles. Or red bubbles, I can do red bubbles. All right. We'll go to black bubbles and we'll do some black bubbles here. That wasn't very black, was it? We'll do some black bubbles here. Okay. What? Yeah, I'm talking. I'm making video, huh? Video around, huh? You think I'm crazy? Sometimes Myra thinks I'm crazy. She says, if you're doing video, okay, but if you're not, I don't like what you're doing because I'm talking to myself. Talking around, yep. Okay, so this is a wrap. This is a video. This has been pretty long. I'm not sure how long, but I know I've been a while. I know I've got to find out if I can stream videos. If I can stream these.